Hi everyone, welcome to our first ever YPAtlas event, Q&A with Chairman and CEO Glen Dunkerson. I'm Lauren Falls and I'm the co-chair of YPAtlas. First off, I'd like to thank everyone for joining YPAtlas and attending today's session. We're very excited Glen is here with us today and has taken the time to talk to the group about the importance of young professionals within our organization and within the industry as a whole. Glen has been behind YPAtlas from the start and is supporting the development of young professionals by sponsoring this group. I'd also like to thank our leadership team for all of the work they've done in helping set up the group and coordinate this event, which includes our co-chair, Alex Meyer, membership chair, Ian Emlock, marketing chair, Katie O'Nions, finance chair, Jake Roth, and events chair, Courtney Singleton. The mission of YPAtlas is to inspire, engage, and empower the next generation of leaders within the Atlas family through networking and leadership development opportunities. The group is open to all employees that demonstrate potential for advancement and growth into positions of leadership. We're going to have training opportunities, meetings, and social gatherings throughout the year. So definitely keep an eye out for communications about those events. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Mr. Glen Dunkerson, Chairman and CEO. Glen, thank you for speaking to the group today. We have a few questions submitted previously from our members that we'd like to start off with. First question, we were hoping you could talk a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are today.
Hey, thank you, Lauren. I guess I should officially say hello to YPAtlas. It's pretty exciting for me to be involved in this, and it was a pretty easy assignment. I know everybody's got a tight schedule, so I'll begin by saying I've probably been around the company longer than most of you have been alive, which is a pretty telling tale right there. Started in 1978. A lot of people don't realize I actually worked on a moving truck when I was going to school, and so it was for an Atlas agent of all things. Didn't even know at the time that was my future, but realized pretty quickly that the labor side of it was not something I wanted to do. Worked my way up from the ground floor, dispatching, from the operating unit for over a decade, then customer service, quality, the SP logistics side of the business for several years. So I've been all around the company and was blessed in that the company gave me an opportunity to move into the executive position. So I've seen a lot about Atlas, very worthwhile career, and loved the people I worked with. The agents, quite honestly, is what has kept me with Atlas so long. I just truly enjoy the people.
Wonderful. So in your opinion, why are young professionals important to this organization?
It's a cliche, but all of you are the future. And I think I realized that a long time ago when I was looking around the boardroom and seeing the aging of our leadership in that level, and knowing that it was symbolic throughout our whole organization, and that we needed to do something to start mentoring and nurturing the next level of people. I've been blessed enough that the children of people I have worked with have started out our company, and even some of the grandchildren. So it's rewarding to me to see that. But we've got to get everyone prepared to step in and take the company to where it can be greater than what it is now. And in the future, I think the sky's the limit, truly is.
Can you tell us what qualities you look for in a leader and how you would define great leadership?
I want to say something that probably not everyone is a leader, and the understanding that leaders can be made, I believe, is true, but you can look around your own organization or around the company, and there's people that just kind of stand out. And some of those will succeed, others will not. It's the amount of work you want to put into it. If you want to work hard and learn the business, and not only what you do, but what others do around you, to give you a broader sense of what the industry is like. It's far-reaching outside the walls of your agency or the walls of these corporate environment on the campuses in Seattle and or in Evansville, New Jersey, Canada, and or St. Louis, where we have locations. So you really need to get a good understanding of what the industry and what your company does. We're a big corporation, and a lot of people don't realize that. The ones that are just worried about their little corner of the world is fine, and that's rewarding. But those that look outside and get the bigger scheme of the picture, those are the people that, in my estimation, will go far.
Very nice. So what tips would you give to someone who is new coming into a leadership role?
My advice would be watch the people around you, pick up attributes of people that you respect and admire. I'll say this also, when you see the leadership abilities of people that are not good managers or supervisors, because they're out there too. We have to acknowledge that with a company our size, you have people that are in positions that maybe probably don't do as well as we hope. We want to help them, but learn from those as well as the people that you admire, and that will make you a better supervisor, manager, general manager, owner. Wherever your hat's ultimately going to be, it will make you more valuable that you've learned from that as you go up the food chain.
What do you feel is the most important piece of knowledge you could pass along to young professionals today?
Patience. It's hard to speak to truly younger people. What I would classify as millennials, and that age group who expects a lot to come quickly, and it can. I've seen people that show tremendous abilities and they're in their 30s that you really want to utilize their minds, and then but understand it. You have to work for it. You have to be in the right place at the right time. So I guess the word patience would be my word of advice.
Very insightful. What was one of the biggest challenges you faced when you took on your leadership role, and how long did it take you to become comfortable and confident in your current role?
Oh, that is really a good question. As my ego would like to tell me, I was ready when I was tapped on the shoulder to take the CEO role and then ultimately the chairman's position. In truth, it took me probably a year to assimilate to the CEO position, equally as long as chairman, because they have different purposes and different assignments for you. So for me, it was roughly a couple of years before I thought, I used the cliche, I nailed it and became better at it. I still have my moments where you just talk to the people I serve, which would be the stockholders of this company, and they'll probably tell you I haven't nailed it yet. But I still try, and there's not probably a week that goes by that somebody doesn't share something that I didn't know, and you'd be surprised at who it is. It's not usually from what I would call our older members of our organization. It's usually from the mid-level management to the younger people will share something that I had not thought about. So,
what is one mistake you witness leaders making more frequently than others?
Overconfidence. They think that they've got all the answers, and in reality, you don't. The higher you go up in an organization, the more you are excluded from what's happening in the real world, is what I call it. That's the reason you have to keep and establish relationships throughout all avenues. And I'm happy to say I still speak with drivers, our professional van operators, as we like to call them. In my age group, folks, they still are drivers to me and probably always will be. But I still have relationships with drivers that aren't shy about sharing with me their ideas. Also people on the floor and at our subsidiary companies that they're not shy about sharing what's going right or wrong within the company. But truly my best link out to really the pulse of the business is the agents and what's happening there. The phone doesn't stop ringing with people that suggest how we can do things better.
Can you name a person who has had a tremendous impact on you as a leader? Maybe someone who has been a mentor to you?
There's really two, and in my role, it goes all the way back to a gentleman who was in the operating units, and it won't mean anything to you, but his name was Don Johnson, and he was just a incredibly smart man. I thought he was an old man at the time. He was probably in his 30s, and but he was truly creative, energetic, and gave me some good foundation. So I would probably key him as one of the first people that kind of got me on the right path, and I became committed that this is what I wanted to do with my career.
That's very neat. Thank you for sharing that with the group. We're now going to go ahead and open up the floor for questions at this time. We'll give you all a couple of minutes to submit your questions via Twitter at #YPAtlas or through the chat feature on Link. Thanks. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started again. Thank you all for submitting your questions. We had a few really great ones come in. So Glenn, here's a question that we had just come in recently. What are a few resources you would recommend to someone looking to gain insight into becoming a better leader?
Resources. Study the industry in terms of all of the material that's out there, other than the usual suspects is what I call Transport Topics obviously has good things. The ERC publications have some good data in it. Become kind of a knowledgeable of everything around you outside your little sphere of influence. I think that's always beneficial, especially when you're talking to others. It gives you a sense of a better understanding of our industry. And I'd also like to say howdy, Ian and Alex, how are you? Obviously, you guys are key to the success of the YPAtlas program.
We actually just had a question come in from Ian, and it says, as you can imagine, it is often intimidating being in this industry and interacting, and in my case, selling, to people over twice my age. In your opinion, what is something YPs can do to be taken more seriously by those older than them?
Well, actually, Ian, that's an excellent question. As someone that has been in your position, believe it or not, and I was selling to recruiting agents and accounts when I was in my late 20s, and you're usually going in with somebody of a more senior position, and that adds validity to your position, but not always. And I think it's the command of your information that would help sell you to somebody that's my age or even older. So one, I think they're impressed by young people that are knowledgeable about what they do. That goes a long way to convince somebody that they want to do business with you. So go in, have command of your facts. Don't be embarrassed to say I don't know something, because they'll throw you a curve that you will not know, and just assure them that you can get the answer and get back with them on that. But I would say that would be my best advice.
How do you help a new employee understand the culture of our organization?
That's good. I don't think we do enough. Even myself, I know in looking around our company and how big we've become, there's probably a better chance that our senior management group could interact more with employees. And this is true of any of the Atlas subsidiary companies as well. You just got to get out and get to know all of the people better than what we are doing. So I would say to that degree, and I probably will never answer this question to the satisfaction of everybody, it's just you try to get somebody that you respect in management to open doors for you and allow you the opportunity to show your talent. We are looking for talent in everything that we do. We're always looking for people to step into supervisory or leadership roles. And I think that's true whether you're in a corporate environment, an agency environment. We're always looking for people that want to take on more responsibility.
How do you encourage creative thinking within Atlas?
Oh, the better question is, do we? Sometimes I question if we actually do that, and we get sidetracked with getting the job done and not asking people their thoughts on how to do things better. I think this is probably true in everything. No matter what seat you're sitting in at wherever, you're never asking the right person how to better do what they do or what they see around them. I know we're guilty here. We have almost 400 people on this campus in Evansville, which is quite large. And yet I will ask you, probably sitting over in the auditorium right now, how many times has your supervisor asked you for suggestions? And, that's wrong on our part. And so we need to do more of that. And the agents out in the field that are watching packers and loaders and lumpers and drivers, how many times have we asked them for recommendations on how to better improve the process? So I think we get set in our mind that we know best, and that's the way it should be done because we've tried everything before, and that's not the case.
That's a very good point. How do you or other leaders at Atlas communicate our core values?
I think core values can probably you can put a lot of marketing ideas out in front of people and tell about what you are, but core values are set by the people in charge. You have to set examples for people that you work with and for. Again, I work for people. I work for the owners of the company, but I've said this for a long time, and I hope my leadership team also do this. We work for every employee that represents our brand. People don't realize it, but when it becomes peak season, which is right around the corner, we will have thousands and thousands upon representatives out wearing our brand. That's impressive. One time, I think this was several years ago, I estimated we have 13 to 15,000 people wearing the Atlas brand or are promoting the Atlas brand at a given time. That is quite a large accomplishment. So, set your examples highly because people do watch everything you do.
When faced with two candidates that are equally qualified, how do you select the best fit?
Flip a coin. That's a tough one. You generally, if everything is equal and you're struggling with a decision, usually go with your gut. Something is going to tell you one individual is probably a better fit for the role than the other one. It doesn't mean the other individual isn't valued, but they may not fit the role you have open at this time. But if everything's equal, if it truly is, go with your gut feeling. You'll usually be right.
How do you personally handle stress?
Oh, I don't have any, which is not true. Everybody's different. I think we've all seen people that handle stress at a different way. I tend to not show stress it affects me. Typically what I'll do is I'll take a motorcycle trip and kind of unplug if I possibly can for a week or so. The other thing that truthfully sets up my stage recently is spend time with my grandson, which, gosh, I thought I'd never say that. But as you get older, you value things a lot differently. So spend time with the family and kind of unplug away from the situation. It helps you think clearer. Play golf if you can. I haven't played golf in a while.
Very nice. What are you doing to ensure you continue to grow and develop as a leader?
Oh, that is one of the better questions because I think you can get stale pretty quick if you allow that to happen. Surround yourself with some people that challenge you. Fortunately for me, I have a lot of people that challenge me every day. So you have to be on top of your game. The other thing is find out what your competitors are doing. Quite frankly, if you give them an opportunity, they'll share it with you. They're really forthcoming. So keep your ears open, keep a dialogue open with people that are in your business, and it will keep you nimble. And I think that's what you have to be. You have to be nimble in this business.
All right. And how do you start your ordinary day? How does it end? What's the best way to keep a good work-life balance as a leader?
I read a book on Jack Welch a long time ago, and because I always marvel at what does he do running a large corporation, and I read what his typical day was, and I figured he was either lying or he was incredibly more talented than I could ever be, and it's probably the latter. But typically I come in the morning, And probably like a lot of you have your routine. I will see if everything's going all right, if my finger on the pulse of certain things appeared right. We've got metrics on a lot of the business. I immediately go through those to see if those are tracking right, if there's any anomalies that I need to address. In our business, and especially where I'm at, I will get communications 24 hours a day about what's going on in our business and in the industry. A lot of it's what I call the junk mail, so discard it, but you've got to be able to identify and focus on things that are critical for us. So that's the things I do in the morning, and then set the stage the rest of the day. It's really staying on top of what's happening around the really the world now, with our international folks up in Seattle doing such a marvelous job. They keep tabs on the global market. Cornerstone, as most of you are aware, they're expanding like there's no tomorrow in the global arena as well. So I do have a cup of coffee that kind of kick starts my day and gets me settled. About midday, I get a chance to look at a newspaper, but that is usually just to get a pulse on things that are going on with our some of the businesses we do business with, and also have Google. I have Google notifications on other events that help me keep my fingers on the pulse. So hopefully that answers that.
Do you have any advice on making business suggestions or presenting ideas to upper management that many times are twice our age?
Don't give up. I think as this YPAtlas initiative kicks off, and I'm very, very excited and optimistic about it, especially when you're able to get together and network with your peers, which I think is critical for us. Don't be discouraged by bouncing ideas off of somebody that's older or in a higher position. I think everybody has it. Everybody gets rejection, and you have to be able to handle rejection. But believe me, if you give 10 ideas and one resonates with somebody, that's still a success story, in my opinion. And believe me, not everybody's ideas are good. I confess I have ideas that are not good, but at least they're ideas. And you value bouncing them off of people. Bounce them off of some of your peers to see if it has merit. And then if it does, and you get support, then take it up to that next level. And don't if they just kind of push you off, be persistent, especially if you know if it's a good idea. Don't let it die.
Well, thank you. Well, to kind of wrap things up, is there any other wisdom or advice you'd like to impart to young professionals today?
I wish I were in your shoes to be with this company where you are now, and to know that truly we are on probably another significant growth spurt. You're in a very good position. So you're with a great company. The agents out there are the best in the industry. I know we say that, but it's not a cliche. It's not a slogan. It's the fact. And I'm fortunate enough to tell you I work with competition, and we by far have the best in our industry, and that's reflective of the drivers, the corporate people that work at all of our subsidiary companies and here at the main headquarters, and then last but not least, the agents. Again, I have the utmost respect for them. They are the foundation of our company.
Thank you, Glenn, for that insightful knowledge. Again, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. For everyone else out there, we have some very exciting events planned for 2015, which includes virtual workshops, member events here at headquarters, and functions at industry and Atlas events. And we'll be communicating more about that here in the near future, so definitely keep an eye out for member emails and loop communication. Regarding membership numbers, we've already had over 50 people join, which is very exciting and just fantastic. And we really encourage you to spread the word about YPAtlas, as we feel this is going to be beneficial to all of our young professionals within the Atlas family. We're also going to be posting today's webinar out on our page here shortly, and all members should be receiving an email with information on how to access that recording. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact us at YPAtlas@atlasworldgroup.com. And thank you all again, and have a nice day.